What if I told you the reason that you lie awake at 3 a.m. worrying about money isn't because you don't have enough, it's because you're following the wrong rules. Now you've probably tried every budgeting app, every money-saving tip, every piece of financial advice out there, but you're still stressed about money every single day. It isn't because you're bad with money or don't make enough, it's because you're focused on the wrong things, while the real money drains are destroying your financial peace. These 5 budgeting rules aren't the typical cut out your daily coffee tips you've heard 1,000 times. These are the fundamental principles that separate people who stress about money from people who sleep peacefully at night. And I know they work because they completely transformed my relationship with money. I understand what it's like to live in constant financial anxiety, and I've discovered the exact system that eliminates it. Today I'm sharing the 5 minimalist budget rules for people who hate budgeting. These aren't band-aid solutions or temporary fixes. They're the rules that wealthy people use to sleep peacefully at night. And by the end of this video, you'll never look at money the same. The first rule is the foundation of everything. Keep your major expenses low. But here's what most people get wrong. They focus on the small stuff while the biggest expenses are quietly destroying their financial peace. I'm talking about the big 3: housing, transportation, and food. These 3 categories will make or break your financial future, and most people are doing them completely backwards. They're trying to save money on groceries while throwing a bunch of cash at rent and payments. Let me tell you about Chad. He was making $75,000 a year but felt broke every single month. He was clipping coupons and skipping his morning latte, obsessing over every small purchase. But he was spending $2,800 on rent and had a $650 car payment. He was trying to save pennies while dollars were flying out the window. Housing is your biggest wealth killer, or it can be your biggest wealth builder. There's no middle ground. Here's the rule that changed my life. Choose housing that you can still afford comfortably, even if you took a 20% pay cut tomorrow. I know that sounds scary, but imagine the peace of mind. Imagine never lying awake wondering if you can make rent. Imagine never having to choose between your mortgage and your groceries. Imagine the confidence that comes from knowing that if the worst happens, you lose your job, you get sick, the economy crashes, you still have a roof over your head. And cars, this is where most people make their biggest mistake, and it's costing them their financial freedom without even realizing it. If you're tired of financial stress keeping you up at night, stick with me because the next rule is going to blow your mind and probably save you thousands of dollars. Here's what the car industry doesn't want you to know. The shiny new car payment isn't just costing you $400 a month, it's costing you your peace of mind and potentially hundreds of thousands in wealth over your lifetime. Buy your car with cash, even if it's not your dream car. I know, you're thinking, but I don't have $15,000 sitting around for a car. That's exactly the point. If you don't have cash for it, you can't afford it. And food? This is where you can save money without sacrificing your health or happiness, but you have to be smart about it, and most people are doing it all wrong. You don't need to eat ramen every night or live off of rice and beans, but you do need to be intentional. Cook at home more often, not because restaurant food is evil, but because cooking gives you more control over both your health and your wealth. Buy generic brands for things that don't matter. I promise you the store brand pasta tastes exactly the same as the name brand, but it costs half as much. Stock up on rice, beans, oats, and other staples that fill you up without emptying your wallet. Here's a game changer: meal planning. Spend 30 minutes every Sunday planning your meals for the week. Make a grocery list and stick to it. This one habit can cut your food budget by 30 to 40% while actually improving what you eat. But here's the real secret about food spending. It's not just about the money you save, it's about the stress you eliminate. When you have a plan, when you know what you're eating and you know what it costs, grocery shopping stops being a source of anxiety and becomes just another item on your to-do list. Here's the truth. Every dollar you save on these 3 big expenses is a dollar that can work for you instead of against you. It's a dollar that can give you options, freedom, and most importantly, peace of mind. But keeping expenses low is just the beginning. The second rule is what separates people who struggle financially from people who build real wealth. Rule number 2, save and invest before spending. This sounds simple, but it's the difference between financial stress and financial freedom, and most people have it completely backwards. Most people do it backwards. They spend first, then they try to save whatever's left. But here's the problem. There's never anything left. There's always another expense, another emergency, another reason why this month is different. I used to tell myself I'll save whatever's left at the end of the month, but somehow there was never anything left. There was always a birthday gift to buy, a car repair, a night out with friends, gas to fill up my tank, or food to eat. I was always planning to save next month, but next month never came. I realized this lesson the hard way when I realized I've been planning to save for 3 years straight, but had little money in my savings account to show for it. That's why I discovered the secret that changed everything. Today I automated my save savings to come out before I could even see it was the day my financial life changed forever. Suddenly, I wasn't trying to save money, I was learning to live on less, and it felt like a game instead of a punishment. When you pay yourself first, something beautiful happens. Your brain adapts, you learn to live on what's left, and you stop feeling deprived because you know you're building something bigger. You're not sacrificing, you're investing in your future self. Rule number 3, give every dollar a job. This is where most people think budgeting gets complicated, but it's actually where it gets liberating. Most people hate budgeting because they think it's about restriction, but that's completely wrong. Here's what nobody tells you about budgeting. It's not restriction, it's about permission. It's about giving yourself permission to spend money without guilt. When you give every dollar a job, $30 for haircuts, $70 for groceries, $30 for gas, $50 for entertainment, you're not limiting yourself, you're giving yourself permission to spend that money guilt-free. No more standing in the grocery store wondering if you can afford that organic milk. No more anxiety at the gas pump. No more guilt about buying that book or going to that movie. You budgeted for it so you can spend it with confidence. I used to feel guilt about every purchase, even necessary ones. Now when I spend money on something I've budgeted for, I feel proud. I'm following my plan, I'm being intentional with my money, I'm in control. But here's the secret sauce as well. When you don't spend all of your budgeted money in a category, that leftover money becomes bonus savings. It's like finding money in your couch cushions, except it happens every month. But here's another secret that makes budgeting actually work long term. You need breathing room, and most people's budgets are suffocating them. Rule number 4, leave margin in your budget. This is your sanity saver, your relationship protector, your stress eliminator. This is what transforms a budget from a financial straitjacket into a tool of freedom. Life happens, cars break down, friends get married, kids need school supplies, your dog gets sick, your phone breaks. If your budget is stretched to the penny, every unexpected expense becomes a crisis that derails your entire financial plan. But when you build in margin, even just $100 or $200 a month, you transform from someone who's always in crisis mode to someone who can handle whatever life throws at you. You become the person who says no problem when your friend asks if you can chip in for a group gift, instead of the person who has to awkwardly decline because you literally don't have $20 to spend. But that brings us to our final rule, the one that ties everything together and gives you something most people never experience: true financial peace. Rule number 5, spend less than you make. I know this sounds obvious, but hear me out. This isn't just math, this is about psychology, about peace of mind, about that kind of deep contentment that money can't buy but financial security can provide. When you consistently spend less than you make, something profound happens. You stop living in survival mode, you stop making decisions from a place of fear and scarcity, you start making decisions from a place of abundance and possibility. You sleep better because you're not lying awake wondering how you'll pay next month's bills. You fight less with your partner because money stress isn't poisoning your relationship. You're more generous with others because you're not constantly worried about your own financial survival. You become the person who can help a friend in need. You take advantage of opportunities when they arise. You can weather financial storms without panic. You become someone who has options. This isn't about becoming cheap or depriving yourself. It's about creating space in your life for what really matters. Your relationship, your health, your dreams, your peace of mind. It's about buying your freedom $1 at a time. But now that you know these 5 minimalist budget rules that eliminate financial stress forever, there's a complete roadmap that takes this foundation and turns it into serious wealth. So check out this video where I reveal the 7 steps of saving $1 million, because while these budget rules give you financial peace, these steps show you how to turn that peace into life-changing wealth.